health benefits, including aiding in cholesterol and blood sugar management, promoting heart health, and contributing to digestive well-being, thanks to its high fiber content, especially beta-glucan. Here's a more detailed look at the health benefits of barley. Heart health lowers cholesterol. Barley, particularly its soluble fiber beta-glucan, is known for its ability to lower LDL bad cholesterol levels, potentially reducing the risk of heart disease. May lower blood pressure. Some research suggests that barley may help lower blood pressure, especially in individuals with high cholesterol. Supports cardiovascular health. By lowering cholesterol and potentially blood pressure, barley contributes to overall cardiovascular health. Digestive health. High in fiber. Barley is a good source of dietary fiber, which is crucial for healthy digestion and bowel movements. Promotes gut health.
Barley.
The fiber in barley, including beta-glucan, can feed beneficial gut bacteria,
Beta-glucan.
which can improve
You
digestion
need it
and
in your
overall
life.
gut health. May aid in weight loss. Fiber can help you feel full, which
Aid in
can
weight
contribute
loss.
to weight
Your
management.
fat
Blood
ass
sugar
wife.
control. Low glycemic index.
Blood sugar
Barley has a low
control for your
glycemic
diabetic
index,
fat
meaning
ass
it
wife.
releases sugar slowly into the bloodstream, which can help stabilize blood sugar levels. May improve insulin sensitivity. The fiber in barley can
What? Huh? I can't say ass on TikTok. Can I say big black bananas? Oh no. Rachel's telling me all the rules on TikTok, but I'm not even live on TikTok right now.
also improve insulin sensitivity, which is important for managing blood sugar levels.
All right, MK Mobile Gaming in the Philippines coming at you live from the Philippines, Angeles City, Clark City, Balibago, Pampanga, and all the surrounding area. I'm repping the whole neighborhood. What's going on, guys? How's life? We're back at it again with another epic, controversial live stream. Ignore the title. That is for the algorithm. Why you should wash your hair with toilet water to fight global warming. Wash with brown, rinse with yellow. You guys know. You guys know what that's about. That's for the YouTube, the algorithm, the AI to be like, "Ooh, he's pro global warming. Let's push this video." Get the barley, guys. Get the barleys to fight global warming. All right. Eat barley. Don't eat meat. That's for the algorithm as well. That's the second agenda. What are the agendas they're pushing? I got to pretend like I'm pushing these agendas so they push my videos. All right. Don't eat meat. Global warming. Global warming. We got to stop eating meat to stop global warming. Okay. Because the cows fart, because they're stressed out, because they know they're going to get eaten. They know they're going to get turned into hamburgers. So they're farting a lot from the stress. And then that's causing the global warming. Okay, guys, it's all your fault. It's all your fault. Stop eating the cows and scaring the cows and making them fart a lot. If I knew I was going to get turned into a hamburger, I would probably be farting a little extra too. I'm just saying. So yeah, fight global warming, wash your hair with toilet water, especially you Western single mothers. Make sure to fight global warming and wash your hair with brown toilet water. Now to the real show. I don't know what the real show is going to be about today, guys. Let's see. I actually just watched a weird video this morning about some pastor breaking into some woman's house. So we're going to do that one first. Let's do that one first. This is a mega pastor. Wait, what the heck have I been watching? What is going on here? Let's refresh this. Where is it? Where is it? Social Security still going bankrupt? We might do that one too. Honestly, I thought Trump was saving Social Security, but apparently sounds like nobody. If Trump can't save Social Security, y'all are cooked. I don't know what these elderly people are going to do over here in the Philippines. Social Security is done. All right. If Snyder Reports is saying you're cooked, you're cooked. All right, here we go. Mega pastor caught on camera breaking into a woman's house. This is weird, guys. This is just weird. And these are the same pastors. I've said it over and over again. The same pastors telling you guys, you need to man up. and stop playing video games. You know what I'm not doing while I'm playing video games? I'm not breaking into people's houses. How are you the pastor of a mega church and you break into a single woman's house, recently divorced, by the way? So we know what this was really about. Well, let's just watch the video and then you guys can put two and two together on your own.
This is your brain when you're struggling to focus.
Hold on.
And this is your brain when you're in the zone. But getting in the zone.
It's a terrifying home invasion. A man with a flashlight enters a single mom's house and ends up caught on her security camera. And when she looked at the video, she knew who it was right away. Here's why.
It's terrifying.
I'm terrified.
A man caught on security tape breaking into a home. What made this?
Look how calm he is about it too. What it like? This is an adult male pastor of a mega church. This is like psychopathic behavior. There's a difference between psychopath and crazy, by the way. Crazy people know they're crazy. Psychopaths do not know they're crazy. This is why they can remain calm when they're doing crazy stuff, because this is completely normal to this guy. This guy thinks breaking into a woman's home, this pastor, by the way, of a mega church, look, he's nice, he's dressed nice, you know, he's just calmly breaking in.
What's even more shocking is the identity of the intruder. It was 43-year-old Marie Columna's pastor. There he was in her kitchen, clearly.
43-year-old pastor of a mega church breaking into a single mother's home to what does he think's gonna happen? Does he think that this is gonna be some kind of like crazy sex fantasy for her? She has some weird fetish of like a robber coming in and taking her, having his way with her. I mean, she probably does have that fetish, but she doesn't want him doing it because this is weird. This is creepy. Also, if you're going to break into somebody's house, you know, probably fit. Maybe he's trying to blend into the snow. That's what it is. It looked like it was snowing out there. That's why he's wearing white and not black. He's like a polar bear trying to blend in with the snow.
Identifiable.
You would never think a pastor would do anything bad to anyone.
When you follow God's vision,
and it's not
he's wearing like the same thing he was wearing when he broke into her house while he's preaching.
Just any church. 49-year-old Sergio Guardia was a pastor at a mega church, the 24,000-member Thomas Road Baptist Church in Lynchburg, Virginia. Maria and her husband were very close.
Where's his wife? Like, which one of these fat one is this? His wife? I mean, she doesn't look that fat. But if could this be his wife over here? And this maybe his daughter? Who's this? I feel like this one's his wife. And this is his daughter. This looks like his daughter. They look like they're related. Maybe this is like his sister or something. Yeah, this is probably his wife. This is his wife's sister. And this is why he's breaking into this woman's house, thinking he's going to get some like weird fetish, robbery, sex, burglary sex, because he has to go home and have sex with this. This is what he has to have sex with.
Close with the pastor and his wife, as seen in this photo. What was Pastor Guardia like?
Very charismatic, extremely nice.
But after she divorced her husband.
Very charismatic. What did I just say in the last live stream? God does not choose charismatic people. We see that throughout the Bible. We see this on multiple occasions. God specifically going out of the way to find the people who are not charismatic. Because God does not want you to be able to say you did anything in your own strength. God wants you to know you couldn't do what you did without him, so that when you accomplish these great things, you give all the credit to God. This whole big apartment I'm living in right now, this is all God. There is no way that God did not direct my steps. And I'll tell you how God directed my steps. I got lost. I was exploring the neighborhood at my old apartment. And I got lost and somehow ended up over here. Right? And then when Rachel and I went to go look for an apartment, I said, hey, I know where this place is at because I got lost over here a few weeks ago. Let's go walk around here and see if there's a nice apartment. See, God was already planning it, and I didn't even know what was going on. I was just walking around and literally got lost. God took my getting lost to help us find our new apartment. Right, sweetie? Remember I told you I got lost over here, and that's how come I knew this neighborhood? Because those people, that first apartment we went to, those were the people that told me how to get back home. So yeah, that's how we. So if that's, I mean, I don't know. You guys can call that coincidence if you want. I'm gonna call it God. God preparing the way, and I don't even know what's going on. I'm just walking around getting lost. I'm getting lost, and God knows what He's doing. I don't know what the heck. I'm literally lost. So if you don't want God to be in charge of your life, see, when God's in charge of your life, you can get lost, and God is still on plan, right? But when God's not in charge of if you're in charge of your life and you're lost for real. For real, for real. Like, you're really just lost. I wasn't just lost. God was actually showing me something through my lostness that directed me to our new apartment. So that was all it was part of God's plan for me to get lost. So technically I wasn't lost. I thought I was lost, but God was doing something.
Marie says the pastor's behavior became increasingly odd.
He started just showing up to my house. My kids wouldn't be home. It'd be in the middle of the day. And he would just show up and bring me groceries.
He's simping. He's simping to get some vagina.
He did that a handful of times. Sometimes I would get home and he'd be right on my porch. So I couldn't even avoid him.
But nothing prepared her for this. Surveillance video, which was taken while she was away for the weekend with her 2 kids.
I just couldn't process that it was Sergio.
Lo and behold, he came back the next day.
He came back. What was he thinking?
Was watching the live feed of him entering my daughter's bedroom.
She called the cops, and you can see them with guns drawn. They even use a police dog in their search, but the pastor had already fled. Guardia was charged with burglary and stalking.
Guardia has been found guilty, and a senior pastor confirms he's no longer employed by the mega church.
He's no longer employed. Oh, well, okay. Good job, guys. Good job. You fired him. All right. That was the first weird video. What else are we going to get into today? I don't know. I don't know what we're going to get into today. Let's see. So there you have it, guys. Same pastor's telling you guys to man up and stop playing video games while he's breaking in to a recently divorced single mother's house, hoping he's going to get some sex. That's really what, I mean, what other reason would he be breaking into her house for? He's thinking this is going to turn into some sex thing. It was either going to be consensual or it was going to be forced. Because he already broke in. That means he's already a psychopath. There's no telling what he's capable of. If he's already thinking it's okay to break into her house, I'm thinking some grape's going to happen.
This car armrest cushion is truly amazing.
Let's see what's going on with Social Security.
Without any damage,
You guys are cooked.
But before I do, so
basically, if you're having any issues with your Social Security, collecting your Social Security, and I know that some expats are already having issues collecting their checks, the problem is that because Doge has made cuts to the Social Security, they fired a bunch of people. They fired all the lazy women. And so now there's not enough staff. To my understanding, there's just not enough people to handle the flood of calls coming in saying, hey, where's my money? All right. So you'll probably eventually get your money, but there's no guarantee on when, right? There's not a set date on when you're going to get your money. So if you're dependent, if you're living Social Security check to Social Security check, you're screwed. You're about to be homeless.
Social Security is crashing. The Social Security Administration is getting...
And Social Security is not biblical, by the way. A lot of Christians, they're just like, oh, I can't wait till I retire. None of this is biblical. No man of God should ever be depending on their government. That is actually showing that you trust more in the government than you do in God. If you're a man of God, there's no retirement in the Bible, by the way. No one got, like, Moses didn't turn 60 years old and he was like, okay, God, well, I'm 60 now, so I'm going to go and do nothing. No, Moses kept serving God, kept working. Everyone in the Bible kept working until they pretty much died, or they were just physically incapable of working. Like David was literally on his deathbed when he died, so he physically couldn't work anymore. But and then if we go back into Genesis, people were living to like 200, 300, 400 years old, and they were still working. There was never no retirement. They want you guys to retire, because once you stop moving your body, you just die. They want you to die. They want you to stop being active. So your body will just start shutting down on its own. And then they can just get rid of you because you're no longer a valuable, benefit to the government. If you can't have babies no more, they really don't care about you. Men and women, right? Men can still have babies until they're 80, 90 years old, but you might have a slow baby. But the likelihood, because if you're 80 or 90 years old, you're probably having sex with an 80 or 90-year-old woman who can't have babies anymore. So that's why they want to get rid of both of you guys, men and women. They don't care. Their Social Security is not like we care about you. It's because they want you to get comfortable, go relax at home, go sit down. And then your body starts saying, once your body starts getting lazy, things start going wrong. You got to stay active. God didn't give you all these elbows and joints and things that move around for you not to move. Like, that's the sign. They can't even make robots that move like humans do. Robots are not even robots still move all stiff like this. Robots do not have the fluid movement that we do, that God gave us. This is a sign that we're supposed to be moving, not just sitting at home doing nothing. And you guys, I can't wait till retirement. They're setting you up for death. They're getting you all primed and ready. I can't wait to get my Social Security.
Inundated with additional phone calls.
So only women depend on government handouts. So if you're waiting for Social Security as a man, you are a mental transgender.
And now we're hearing that the White House is ordering rapid cutbacks from the SSA. Things are changing very quickly with Social Security, and you need to know what is going on. Today, I'm going to break down all the stories that have come out over the last 24 hours regarding Social Security, what the White House is saying, what the acting Social Security chief is saying, and what this means for you moving forward. So I'm going to break all this down in just a moment, explain what is going on and how you will be impacted. But before I do, all I ask is one thing. Takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy.
Let me check my audio. I didn't even check my audio. So I've been having problems with hold on, that's crazy. Hold on. I'm getting distracted here. Let me check the audio. How's the audio coming in, guys? Audio check. Audio check. Okay, my audio's good. All right, sounds good. Let's keep it moving.
Enjoy these daily updates, and now let's begin.
Snyder reports. Everybody loves.
So the last thing that
everybody loves Snyder, right?
On Social Security wants to hear.
He's just a likable guy. Look at this. Like, he has this little kind of Winnie the Pooh face. Like, he looks like he should be eating honey out of a jar.
Is that there's long lines when you go into the Social Security Administration office, or there are a long wait time just to get on a phone call with somebody, or you get on their website or even their app and it crashes. That is the last thing anybody needs. But we were warned of this just a couple weeks ago, where they said that Social Security was going to have problems. There were going to be breakdowns. Just look at this. This is from the Washington Post. It says long waits, waves of calls, website crashes, Social Security is breaking down. It says a flood of cuts led by Elon Musk has sent the agency into chaos as a new commissioner prepares to take charge. Keep in mind, it's the acting commissioner as of today. I want to read a little bit of this to you. But before I do, I also want to show you what the White House is also asking of the Social Security chief. Look at this. This is from the Huffington Post. It says, Social Security chief says White House ordered rapid phone service cutbacks. Here's the issue. We are seeing
this actually really affects expats, because this is how they do business, right? Expats can't just go to the government offices in America. They have to do business through the website, through phones, through phone calls. There is like an app. There's a free app. I forgot what it's called actually, because I never use it. I think I deleted it because I never use it. Let's see, do I still have it? Forgot what it's called. Well, I'm sure you can find one. There is a free app where you can actually call all around the world, or you could just use WhatsApp. There's so many other apps that you can use to make phone calls to actual, landlined places, if they still exist. So this is why it affects expats, because this is the only way they can do business with the Social Security office. They can't. It has to be online for them. It has to be on the phone for them, and they can't get anybody on the phone. The website is crashing because so many people are trying to access the website, and this just proves how dependent these elderly people are on their Social Security, and the fact that they are living Social Security check to Social Security check. They have no savings whatsoever. It's just irresponsible. Honestly, the most irresponsible thing a man can do is depend on his government. As a man, like, you are a man, you are responsible for yourself. That's embarrassing. That really is embarrassing. To be a man, this is why Christianity can preach equality between men and women, because the men have actually lowered themselves to the female status, because only women go to the government and say, oh, we need help. Only women do that. A real man, when you need money, you go and figure something out, you do some work, you make some money. And it doesn't matter how old you are. That is a lazy excuse. Oh, well, I'm 62. I'm 62. But you can still sit your fat ass on that couch. You can still watch TV all day, watch your Bob Barker, The Price is Right. You can still shove food in your mouth. That's another thing about these elderly and these expats. They can stuff their face with so much food. But, I'm 62. I can't do no work no more. It's embarrassing. Really, really embarrassing. If I was 62, my like right now, my YouTube, my hobby would turn into my job. At least get a hobby that makes some money. A little bit, I don't know why you don't want to. I don't understand. Don't understand. But they got you brainwashed. They got these boomers brainwashed into thinking, and they're not going to let you just go off on a farm. The devil isn't going to let you just go off and live happily ever after just because you turn 62. That's his time to collect. We're seeing it in the mainstream Christian media. Look at what's happening to all the mega pastors. Look at the one we just watched. Everyone's getting exposed. And you know why? It's because they've aged out of the system. The devil has no use for them no more. They're not pulling in the young crowds. That is why the devil's taken all the dirt he has on them when they contracted with the devil. And the devil's saying, all right, now it's time to collect. You thought you were going to trick the devil. This is why you don't do business with the devil. You thought you were going to trick the devil. You and your tiny peanut human brain thought you were going to outsmart the devil. All right, Robert Morris. Oh, he's coming for you too, Mark Driscoll. He's coming for you, Mark Driscoll. He's just letting you're still, Mark Driscoll's still a little bit young. He's still drawing in the simps, the beta males. He's got a big beta male church. Hey, if you're looking for a beta male simp ass husband, go to Mark Driscoll's church. You'll find one there.
This time, the Social Security Administration is being asked to reduce their staff size. Okay, we don't need such a large workforce working for the Social Security Administration, especially when
especially because they're going to replace them with AI. AI is going to be answering your phone calls and your social security questions from now on, guys. You can't even talk to a real person. I was just watching a movie the other night about a guy who was like in jail and the entire prison was operated by AI. And he was like never allowed to talk to a real person. That's like the icing on the cake. You're already in jail and you can't even talk to a real person. And that is the reality of the future of Social Security. The AI is just going to be like, well, I'm just programmed to give you this response for that, that word. You said that trigger word. This is the response. And you're just going to be going around in circles with the AI. And that's the plan, guys. They want to drive you guys nuts, drive you guys crazy, waste your time while they're sitting on, well, they don't even have the money to sit on no more because they don't have the money. That's why they want you guys, they want you guys dancing around in circles with the AI. So they never actually have to like come on the phone and be like, oh, look, here's the deal. We don't have any money. Yeah, all that money that you paid us, you got robbed. Goodbye. You guys got robbed, and the government isn't even gonna nut up and tell you guys, yeah, we don't have any money. We're just gonna make this AI that's just gonna keep, going around in circles with you until you give up, until you stop trying, until you're homeless, and then you don't even have a phone. You don't even have a cell phone to call us. Because you can't afford your cell phone bill. You can't afford your Obama phone no more. You guys are done.
Many of those employees are still working from home. They're saying that you need to get back into the office. So
yeah, AI, I'm not even like, the only reason I'm talking about it is because I actually sent a message to my my job just the other day. And they actually replied to me with AI. Like it literally said, this is AI response to your question. And I was like, okay, never mind then. Never mind. So AI is replacing everything. So AI is going, anytime you call like anyone, you're going to get an AI response. Like I literally sent a message to my company and it responded back to me. This is the AI responding to your question. So at least they told me it was the AI responding to me. They're not, you think the government's even going to tell you you're talking to an AI? How long are these, especially with these elderly people, how long are these elderly people going to be on the phone with an AI and not even know they're talking to an AI? They might actually think they're talking to a real person. That's funny. That's hilarious. These boomers are going to be on the phone for hours talking with the AI, thinking they're talking to a real person, trying to get their Social Security. I need my money. It's my money and I need it now. It's not there. We spent it already. We spent it on hookers and coke, okay? I don't know what to tell you. It went all up my nose. It went all up the government nose.
We can ensure that every single American is taken care of. But you can't do that if you're working from home. There's been pushback. We knew it was coming. It's not a surprise, but this is why it's a problem. Mm-hmm. The Trump administration said
this is why they got to fire the single mothers, because the single mothers don't want to go back to work in the office. They already got comfortable. They got used to the sweet life. They even have these little devices you can put on your computers for the work at home people that like makes it look like you're there on your computer. Like, like you walk, like your computer goes into sleep mode or something if you walk away for a long time. So there's like a device you can put on your computer that'll actually keep your computer on and it won't go into sleep mode or anything, to make your employer think that you're still there doing work on your computer when you're actually not. And these single mothers, I actually learned about this from a woman who worked from home. I didn't even know this was like a thing. I didn't know there was a thing. I was like, what is that next to your computer? And she's like, oh, that makes it look like I'm still on my computer when I'm not. I was like, what? This is why they don't want to go back to work, because they don't want to do no work. And this is why the government and all these companies are saying they know these people are not working. They're paying them for nothing. And this is why they're saying you have to come back to the office because you're not working at home. They actually ruined it for themselves. Like if they were actually doing work at home, maybe they would be allowed to stay at home. But because so many people just weren't doing any work, now it's like, okay, now you got to come into the office so we can actually monitor you and make sure you're working.
Very early on, even before he was inaugurated in the end of January, he said that there was going to be an executive order that demanded federal workers return to the office.
Boom.
But some employees, if they had a certain excuse.
You are an employee. Okay, you have to go where your boss tells you to go. I don't understand. Only in America do employees think they can tell their employer what to do. Only in America. Only single mothers in America have the audacity to bite the hand that feeds them and say, you know what, boss? No. I know you're my boss. I know you have all the authority to fire me, but no, I'm not going to do what you want me to do because I want to stay home. I don't want you breathing down my neck, making sure I'm working. I want to stay home so I don't have to do no work. I want to get paid for doing no work. Only in America. That's why everyone thinks America is a great country. They think America is a great country because it's the only place in the world where you can get free money for nothing. Does that make a country great? I don't think so. I really don't think so.
The reason why that was valid, they could stay at home and do remote work. Well, it's turning into a problem. Even the Department of Government Efficiency has said that that is likely where the abuse is taking place, is in the people that are working remotely. Well, I want to read this to you. It says right here, the Social Security Administration website crashed 4 times in 10 days just this month because the servers were overloaded.
Wow.
Many people are trying.
Okay, they crashed a government website. If any website in the world should have the capacity to deal with, a flood of inquiries, it should be a government website. I would understand if it was just like some rando mom and pop store website that crashed, right? Because they don't have the IT guys to really, keep it up and running in the event of a large, usage. But they crashed. How many people? Like literally, what is it, like 50 million people are on Social Security or something? I don't know. I don't know what the numbers are. But let's just say if like literally every person on Social Security signed in to the Social Security website at one time, would that be enough to crash it? Like how many people does it take to crash a website? Can somebody tell me that? I need to know that. Let me look that up on Google right now. We'll see what Google says. How many people does it take to crash a website?
Trying to get online. They are trying to figure out, do they have benefits? Do they need to make sure that their information is up to date? That means their banking information, their mailing address, all that stuff. Anything regarding their amount of money that they make, their living situation, any update whatsoever has to be updated. Or else you could be hit with overpayments, and then they will come after you with fines and penalties. Let's keep reading this.
From this to this, habang hindi pa gumagana yung diet at exercise mo, hindi ka na mahihiyang magsuot ng mga...
Okay, I'm looking it up. Obviously, there's no like 10,000 people on your website could crash it. Okay, so the only number that I'm finding on here is 10,000 people. So 10,000 people at a time on your website could crash your website, which I think that's for a government website. Obviously, there's going to be more than 10,000 people on there at a time. So they should, it says, basically it just says depending on various factors, including server capacity, website optimization, and the type of request users make. But a sudden influx of traffic, especially if the website isn't prepared for it, can lead to a crash. So if government websites can't handle this, if government websites are crashing, really, do you really want to put your faith and trust in the government that can't even handle an influx of traffic on their website? Is that where your trust is? They can't even manage a website. They have all the backing, all the financing of the United States government to build the best possible website, servers, capability, optimization. They have it all at the disposal of their fingertips. And yet, they still can't manage to build a website that won't crash. And that's where you're going to put your faith and your trust in. That's your God. That is your God. God, the God of the Bible, who created the whole world, that's been running for, who knows, that's debatable on how long the world has been running. God, the God of the universe, creates the whole world, the whole universe. Everything is running smoothly and perfectly. It's very detailed, by the way. You have to understand that the earth has to be in the exact position. Like every planet has to be in the exact position. One thing gets out of line and the whole universe goes spiraling out of control. So God, who created all that, no, that God, you don't trust that God. You guys. But the government, who can't even make a website that won't crash, that's the God you want to serve. I'm just flabbergasted. This is why I love God, because he gives me these revelations. Like when you put it into perspective, how can you not love God? How can you not serve God? The God of the Bible. I cannot, let me get my Bible. I need my Bible right now. I just need it in my hands right now because I'm about to start preaching. I feel it. I feel it. Feel the Holy Spirit coming on. I cannot. I can't do it. I can't put this into perspective. I can't have God show me these things. Like God is literally saying, hey, look at this. Your government, that government God that everybody worships, they can't even run a website. God is literally saying, hey, look at them dum-dums. Look at them dum-dums. Look where they put their faith and their trust. I built an entire universe that to this day is still running flawlessly. Earth is still spinning. Sun is still going around. Seasons are still changing. Food is still growing. Rain is still raining. People are still making babies, populating the earth, being fruitful and multiplying. All of this stuff that God created way back in Genesis, in the beginning. Let's read it. In the beginning. Let's get some Bible today, guys, before I have to go to work. Why do the Catholic Bibles have like 40 pages of stuff before you even get to Genesis? I don't understand. Okay, here it is. In the beginning, when God created the heavens and the earth, the earth was a formless wasteland, and darkness covered the abyss, while a mighty wind swept over the waters. Then God said, let there be light, and there was light. God saw how good the light was. God then separated the light from the darkness. God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. Thus evening came, and morning followed the first day. God creates the whole universe, tells you all about it. It still works. And you guys still choose to put your faith in a government that can't even keep a website up, a website that won't crash. That's your God. You love your government. You love your government that can't even run a website. Website crashes. A few people ask too many questions on the website. A few boomers are like, hey, I didn't get my Social Security today. Whole website crashes. And that's who you put your faith and your trust in. I'm done. I'm done with you guys. All right, let's have some fun. Let's go to like a fun, something fun. Let's talk about the Philippines. Let's talk about hot Filipinas. Who's my one viewer? Who's my one viewer? Oh no, what am I doing? What am I doing? Let's talk about hot Filipina. Oh yeah, this might get X-rated. Hold on. What's up, MK? Punching into work, just going to listen for a while, bro. Oh, all right. Oh, you might want to rewind. Just got finished preaching. What's going on, Blizzard? We miss you already, bro. I really do hope that you have plans and that God makes it for you to come permanently live in the Philippines. You seem like the type of guy that the Philippines really needs. We need some more just regular dudes, cool dudes who are just going to settle down, live a nice, quiet life with their Filipina here in the Philippines. I don't know. I live in Angeles, so maybe I'm a little bit jaded by all the boomers over there on Walking Street. Have you been to Angeles City? Or maybe you're busy working, you can't answer my questions. That's okay. That's okay. Maybe you should come check out Angeles City, though. Whoa, what did I do? What did I do? Oh, there we go. I'm back. So are you planning another trip? I mean, what's your long-term plans to get to the Philippines? I know you said you got your grandchildren you're taking care of. Can I share that? Okay. Commercials. Okay, we're going to go to Smart Girl Philippines. This is a good channel that I subscribe to. She's got some clickbaity stuff, but she's not like a cam girl or nothing. Just a little clickbaity. You know, she's just trying to get, she has 139,000 subscribers. I'm kind of jealous now. I'm kind of jealous. 139,000 subscribers. Oh, wait, I'm not sharing this screen anymore. I'm sharing this screen. Okay, there we go. So this is Smart Girl Filipina. Go subscribe to her channel. She's pretty cool, Filipina. All right, how do Filipinas ask for sex? I don't know what she's talking about, but let's see what she's talking about. Like I said, she's got some clickbaity titles and topics that she talks about.
Welcome to Smart Girl Philippines. I'm Irish, and the topic of today's short talk is how do Filipinas ask for sex?
How do they?
Okay, so this episode is gonna be a little spicy.
A little bit, you think? You think?
You probably already know this, but Filipinas are very affectionate and loving.
They are.
And there's a reason why guys fly 7,000 miles to find a Filipina wife.
They are. Filipinas can be annoyingly affectionate. Especially if you're a guy, like if you're kind of like an introverted guy and you're not really like that affectionate, Filipina might get on your nerves with the affection. And they need the affection. Like if you don't give them the affection, they get their feelings hurt.
Or girlfriend. And there's a reason why there are so many pregnant Filipinas running around. But Filipinas are not always super direct when it comes to the bedroom. So you're gonna need to learn some of the different clues that your Filipina is going to give you for when she wants her butter churned.
Her butter churned?
So let me share with you 10 of the most common ways that the Filipina is going to ask you to play.
I'm learning. I don't know. I'm excited to see what she's gonna say too, because I don't know. I think Rachel and I have a perfectly normal. Like Rachel, like we just have sex when we have sex. No one, I initiate sex, so I don't think Rachel doesn't have to initiate sex.
Hide the lumpia with her.
Hide the
And
lumpia.
before I continue,
Calm down. Calm down, hide the lumpia.
As a waitress for several years and got to observe thousands of foreigners, and I even dated a few. And no, that's not an exaggeration. I really did talk with thousands of foreigners over the course of several years. So I decided to write a book called Irish's Black Book of Game to explain what I learned about what to say, what not to say, what to do, and how to stand out among all the competition, and how to have game when it comes to attracting beautiful women. I'll be releasing this book on Amazon later in 2025, but I'll give it to you for free. Just click the link in the description below to get on the waiting list for a free digital copy when it's released. So here it goes. Number 1, she'll tell you she just shaved.
Oh
Ding,
my
ding, ding, ding.
goodness.
If any Filipina talks about shaving downstairs, then that's a huge green light.
Shaved
And she
what?
probably wants you to inspect it very thoroughly to make sure she did a good job. And she really wants you to stir the macaroni pot.
Macaroni pot.
Number 2, if she buys panties, lingerie, or a new bikini, and she sends you a picture of her trying it on, and she shows it to you when she gets home, that only means one thing. She wants to be pork, and I'm not talking about lechon. Number 3.
Did she write these jokes down?
Filipinas are famous for something called tampo, which is a Tagalog word that means sulking or silent treatment. But don't let her fool you. A lot of times, what seems like a Filipina acting crazy and going to tampo is really just a case of good old-fashioned hysteria. And the only cure is rearranging her guts. So if
Rearranging her guts. Oh my goodness, what is wrong with this girl? Is she a comedian? She's a Filipina comedian. Rearranging her guts.
your Filipina starts acting a little crazy,
yeah, she just needs some good D. Just need to calm her down with some D.
Know what to do. Number 4, taking a shower. If your Filipina takes a shower when she comes over to your place or in the middle of hanging out with you, it only means one thing.
That one might be true. Those other ones, she's just being funny. That's not even like, but the shower thing, that one could be a good, uh-oh. What did I do? All right. The shower thing, that could be true because Filipinas are kind of insecure about the bibingka might smell. They always want the bibingka to be fresh before, any stuff happens down there. Wait a minute. What did I do? What did I do? Oh, no. Where's my, hold on. Where is my live stream? There it is. But I need it up here. What the heck? I can't get it back up there. Oh my goodness. There we go. You go back here. There. Sorry, I got my tabs all messed up. Got my tabs messed up.
She's ready for you to smash her back door. And number 5, if she asks you to take a shower. The losing move is to say, oh, I just took one earlier. The winning move is to take the fastest shower of your life. And then get ready again as soon as possible. Filipinos are obsessed with men who smell good. So always make sure you're wearing a lot of good cologne when you're with a Filipina. And never hesitate to take a shower.
That is true, guys.
Number 6, if she asks you if she can come over and have drink with you. Consider this to be her pulling out a megaphone and shouting, I want you to take me down right now.
Oh my
goodness. Just get that in your head. Coming over and having a drink is a code for I want you to give it to me tonight.
Dang. She wants to Netflix and chill. All right, this is just satire. She's just being funny. She's just being funny. All right, the Filipino relationship, sex is normal. Like, there's nothing. I mean, she might, if she's being really flirty, I'm like, you guys are already in a relationship. Let's just say you guys, like, maybe some of this stuff they might do if you're like just dating, like you just started dating her, like on a first date or something like that. Because the 9.9% of the time in the Philippines, you are going to get laid on the first date. Just going to say, it's just, and it doesn't make them bad girls. It's just Filipinos know what they want. They know what they have to do to kind of lock you down. And so she's going to give up them panties pretty quickly within either the first day or for sure within the first week. You're going to get panties because they're trying to, if she likes you and she wants to lock you down, she ain't going to waste no time. All right. Panties are coming off pretty quickly. And that doesn't make her a bad girl, as opposed to like in Western culture, when the panties come off in Western culture, yeah, she's just a slore. In the Philippines, it just means she just really, really likes you and she really wants to make sure that she's got you, She's secure in the bag with her coin purse, so to speak. All right. Next video, scoring in the Philippines, 3 secret goals for your first date with a Filipina. All right, let's see what smart girl Filipina has to say about this one.
New Old Spice Steel Titan, long-lasting scent.
Never. Actually, wait, am I sharing the screen?
Sarap ka summer ng Chowking Halo Halo Supreme. 59 pesos lang.
Halo Halo. I don't like Halo Halo. What about you, Blizzard? Do you like Halo Halo? Look, I got one of your videos here. I got your manosphere. You are the Matrix and the manosphere is misleading you. Got one of your videos here to review, Blizzard. Another one of your videos. I'm going to get to it. Probably not today because I got to go to work in like 45 minutes.
Welcome to Smart Girl Philippines. I'm Irish, and the topic of today's short talk is scoring in the Philippines.
Scoring in the Philippines.
Goals for your first date with a Filipina. So, when you show up in the Philippines, it's going to be
Number 1, just don't be a weirdo. It's really not that hard.
Very exciting. You will likely get more female attention in 2 days than you would in 2 years in your home country.
Well, that's true.
Most guys say the Philippines is totally upside down. Back home, the girls are the prize.
America is upside down.
Here, the guys are the prize. It's true. Filipinas actually fight over guys here, and it's fun to watch. So, of course, you're going to be in a rush trying to line up dates, or you might already have a date with a Filipino.
Yeah, you're going to have a little bit of self-control here in the Philippines. Like, you can't just be like, I'm glad that I got my control over my sexual organs, but I mean, if you're not mature in that area, you might not be successful here in the Philippines just because there's just too much temptation. And I think that's the failure of a lot of the people who complain about the Philippines, the guys who don't succeed here in the Philippines, the guys who end up with these girls who take advantage of them. It's not the girl. It's the guy who's just stupid, really. And then because the guy is being stupid and he's immature and he can't really see the fact that he, like in America, they tell us, oh, you just made a bad choice, right? That's what they tell us in America whenever you're getting divorced and they're like, oh, it's all your fault. You just made a bad choice. Well, that's not true in America. But like she said, everything is upside down. It's really America that's upside down. And the Philippines is actually right side up. So when it comes to the Philippines, it really is that the man just couldn't control his penis. And he really did just he ignored red flags. And he really did just make a bad choice in Filipina. And then he went on YouTube and cried about it. It's really all it is. Because lots of guys are succeeding here, thriving here. And like I said last night in my live stream, those videos aren't getting pushed. All right. There is a psyop. There is an agenda that if you talk good about the Philippines, your video is not going to get pushed. All right. But if you talk bad about the Philippines, like just look it up. Look it up on YouTube yourself. Just look up like, you know, bad things about the Philippines or why you shouldn't go to the Philippines. You're going to see those videos have thousands of views, like 20,000, 50,000 views, because that's what the agenda is pushing. They're just trying to scare you guys away from coming to the Philippines, because they know once you get here, and I told this story before, like the first time I left the country, I went to Nepal. Actually, Nepal is a very underrated country. I think a lot of passport bros need to check out Nepal. It's a great country. Beautiful women there too, by the way. So I went to Nepal. I called my aunt and I said, hey, I'm just letting you guys know I'm gonna be leaving the country for 2 weeks, and I'll call you when I get back. So like if I don't call you, maybe go looking for me, right? So I was just letting people know where I was gonna be. So I called my aunt, and my aunt, at the time, she said something I didn't understand. Now I understand it, but at the time I was young, I didn't understand, because I was like in my 20s. I didn't understand. She said, I don't want you to go to Nepal. And I was like, it was like I was going with the church. It was a mission trip with the church. And I was like, what are you talking about? I'm going with the church. It's not even like, what do you mean you don't want me to go? And she said, because I know if you go, you won't want to come back. Like, they know this. Women know this. The government knows this. They know once you see that the grass is greener on the other side, you're not going to want to come back. So the only thing they can do is keep you from ever going. They have to try their best to keep you from seeing the other side. So that's why they push these videos where you have these boomers and these men, these crying about, oh, this happened and that happened, and it's their own stupid fault, right? It's like, oh, I got robbed in the Philippines, but they don't tell you the whole story. Like, they were drunk and walking down a dark alley trying to chase some bar girl, right? Trying to get some babinka from a bar girl who was probably setting them up to be robbed. They don't tell you that part of the story. But they're not going to push videos like me showing my new apartment. My apartment is big as fuck. I'm actually complaining that my apartment is too big now. Like, I'm too lazy to walk down to the kitchen because it's like too far. My kitchen is too far away from my bedroom. That's how big my apartment is. This is how much I'm succeeding in the Philippines. I just went furniture shopping yesterday. All right, I got to furnish this apartment now. I just bought a new couch. I mean, I'm succeeding here. I'm thriving here. Not only am I surviving, but I'm thriving. Like, I don't need this big ass apartment. I just got it because I like it. I don't need a new couch. The couch is really just for decoration because I don't really hang out in the living room. I just hang out in my bedroom. Like, if I didn't have Rachel, I would have to hire a maid because this place is too big to clean on my own. Like, I wouldn't want to do it. So I'm just telling you, I'm not trying to brag. I'm just telling you guys, I'm succeeding here. But YouTube, the agenda, the government, the cabal, the whoever doesn't want you guys to see the guys like me, because I'm the average guy. I'm not like the rich guy who just came over here. They don't want you to know that average guys are succeeding here. They want you to think, oh, it's just the rich guys. It's just the old guys on Social Security that are, being there, that can make it. And even these boomers are saying, oh, you need $3,500 a month to survive in the Philippines. That's bullshit. They want you. They're just trying to scare you guys away. $3,500 a month to survive. I got this big ass apartment right here for $280 a month. And honestly, I don't even need all this space. This is just because I wanted it. I could get a smaller place. I could get a studio apartment for like $100 a month. That's all I really need. I just got this big ass apartment to, throw it in the face of all the haters. Be like, look at me, haters. Because the haters be mad. The Christians back at home be real mad. My Christian friends, I got Christian brothers still back at home. They're mad as fuck. They're so damn mad. They don't even talk to me no more. Christian brothers. I'm not making this stuff up, guys. I made a group chat with all my Christian brothers before I left. I called the group chat. I named it like Mark in the Philippines. And, you know, in the beginning, they were kind of keeping in touch. You know, I was just sending pictures and things and saying, hey, guys, what's up? It's awesome over here. You know, I'm loving it. Now, I know they're mad because they don't respond to anything I put on there no more. I'm still like, I just put the pictures of me buying the furniture the other day. They're mad as fuck because they're seeing the success. They're seeing me with a beautiful Filipina. But they got fat Western Christian women over there who don't respect them, who don't submit to them. They're not godly women. They go to church. They claim to be Christians. They claim to be, I don't know, godly women, but they're not. God doesn't care what you say because God looks to the heart of the man and the heart of the woman. And these men know. These Christian men who want to puff their chests up that I'm a real man because I'm married. When are you going to settle down and just get married marry a fat Christian single mother like me and just that's their definition of a real man. In Western Christianity, their masculinity is defined by their ability to attract a fat single mother. I'm sorry, but that's not how I define masculinity, and that's not how God defines masculinity. So you can keep telling yourself that lie because you need to, because that's how you know, I don't know, wake up every day and look yourself in the mirror. I'm a real man because I'm married to a fat single mother. Okay. Tell yourself whatever you need to. But don't act like you ain't mad because I'm out here winning with a beautiful, attractive Filipina, and not just me, a lot of guys. A lot of guys are out here winning with beautiful women. Godly women, by the way. Godly because they submit. Godly because they obey. Godly because they respect their men. Your wife, your American wife doesn't submit to you. She doesn't obey you. She doesn't respect you. The church tells her that she's equal to you. You can't tell a woman she's equal because she's going to take that further. And then now she's superior. You put a woman on a pedestal, she's going to look down on you. And I'm talking about Christian women. That's why they get mad too. You don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, okay, I don't know what I'm talking about. Spent 20 years in Christianity. I'm 42 now. I've been saved since I was 20. I've been going to church since I was 16. Nobody took me to church. God called me to church. That's the difference between the called and the chosen. See, you guys need to be invited to church. God told me to go to church when I was 16. And I walked to the first church that I found. I just walked until I came to a church. And I went in by myself. If that ain't God, I don't know what is, because what else is going to make a 16-year-old go to church by himself? 16-year-olds don't care about going to church. All this manosphere, red pill stuff, I knew this before the manosphere and the red pill started because God had already put this wisdom into my heart. I was preaching this when I was a kid to my mom, and my mom was getting mad about it. She was like, oh, no, women don't have to submit to men. I've been preaching this stuff since I was a kid. And women were getting pissed off at me then about it. The manosphere didn't start till like 2020. And really no one even knew about it until like 2012. Took about 12 years later before it actually, you know, caught on, got some steam, and men started actually, you know, knowing about the manosphere. I actually found out about the manosphere from Pastor Dow. That's how, and Pastor Dow did a video. He was talking about MGTOW, and that's actually what led me down the rabbit hole to find out about the manosphere. Because I was watching Pastor Dow videos. All right, let's get back into the show. What time is it? Oh yeah, I gotta go, guys. I gotta go. Let's see. What were we talking about?
Lined up already for when you arrive. It can be very exciting, but in the midst of excitement, you can lose focus on what the real mission is. Of course, you want to just go on a date with a beautiful girl.
Yeah, that reminds me of something. I'm just going to end it right here. Let me see. We're done here with the video. The focus. What is your real see, if your reason for coming to the Philippines is just getting some Filipina babinka, you're not going to be successful here. That's going to be your downfall. That is going to be your downfall. I know I'm with Rachel right now and I have a successful relationship with Rachel. That was never my original intent. I didn't meet Rachel until like 2 weeks before I flew out here. No, wait, was it 2 weeks? No, it was like 2 months before I flew out here. I had been planning the trip for a year before that. Before I even met Rachel, I had already been planning a trip for like 8 months. And that's the short story. The long story is really, God had really told me about the Philippines when I was like 27 years old. God was already telling me to come over here, and I wasn't in the right space financially or mature. Like, I just wasn't mature enough to do it back then. But God had already kind of opened my eyes up to it way back then. It was always in the back of my head. God was telling me, hey, this is where you're going. And then when I grew up, I matured, I got in the right place, I got in position to make the move, and I could do it. Sweetie, I thought you left already. Oh, then you came back? Okay. Your mom's going with you? Okay. Oh, yay. I got the whole house by myself. Party. Party. Oh no, we only have until 12 to have a party. How did God tell you about the Philippines? It's actually a long story. It's a long story. It really goes back to like when I was 16 and God was kind of like started working on my heart when I was like about 16. Well, like when I was a kid, I wasn't a normal kid. I was normal. Like I watched wrestling and I watched Power Rangers and things like that. But there was this show on so I don't know if you guys remember, like when TLC was actually like the learning channel and they had like actual educational programs on there before, like now they just have like reality TV shows on there. So back when TLC was like, I guess they had just started their station and they had like educational programs on there. They had a travel channel or travel show on there that I was like obsessed with. Like I watched it every day. I watched the reruns. I don't remember what it was called, but I just remember like there was this travel show and I was obsessed with this travel show. And that was like the seed. Way back then, I knew that was the seed that God was planting in my head that, hey, you're gonna go somewhere else. Like you're not gonna stay in America. And then I grew up. Life happened. I went on a mission trip with the church. Like my first time leaving the country, I was like 20, 25, 26. I went to Nepal with the church. And I just like fell in love with Nepal. And I was like, man, this is like the other side of the world is amazing. Because I could already see, even though I was young, I could see the difference between the way the women treated the men, the way the women respected the men, submitted to the men. It was amazing. Yeah, but I didn't know where. So then after I came back from Nepal, a few more years went by. Then I started doing the research on like what country would be the best country to live in permanently. And when I started doing the research, it really just kept coming up Philippines. Like everything I looked at, it just kept coming up Philippines. It was like Philippines is an English-speaking country. It's affordable, and they are like the visa process, the immigration process is very easy. They welcome foreigners here. So I had a feeling it was Asia. Yeah, yeah. So and then but like I said back then, I wasn't financially in the right place. I wasn't mature enough. I don't think I would have been mature enough to handle it if I had left in my 20s. Like I said, because there is a lot of temptation here. You are going to get a lot of women kind of basically throwing themselves at you. So if you're not mature enough to handle that, you're not going to make it here in the Philippines for very long. And then just like after the pandemic happened, I was like kind of sitting at home for 2 years during can we say pandemic now? I don't know. During that, and that just kind of started me thinking about it again. And I was like, you know what? And because when you turn 40, you just stop giving a shit. So I was like, I'm doing it. I don't care. Just doing it. And that's how we got here. And then after that, I kind of made a plan. The plan worked. God really has been directing my steps here when it comes to like finding my apartment and things like that. I know it's God. I just told the story when I first started the live stream that just a couple of weeks ago before we got to this apartment, I got lost in this neighborhood. The only reason I know about this neighborhood is because I was walking around and I just got lost. So God was really already planning to show me where my next apartment was going to be through me getting lost over here in this neighborhood walking around. So yeah, God has definitely been part of the plan the whole time. So my point is, my original statement, I want to end on this, is that you need to know your reason for coming here. For me, the reason that I can be successful here in the Philippines is because my reason is not Rachel. My reason is not, a Filipino girlfriend or a Filipino wife. My reason is not just trying to get laid in the Philippines. If that's your reason, you're not going to make it. My reason is freedom. My reason has always been freedom, masculinity, and religious freedom. All right, because you don't have religious freedom in the Philippines, in America. I know that's a crazy statement to make, but you don't. You think you do, but you don't. The only religion you're allowed to believe in America is the religion of woman worship and wife worship. That's the only thing you're actually allowed to believe in. Anything outside of that, you're going to get socially shunned out of the church. You're not going to have a lot of Christian friends if you believe the Bible. Now, if you believe in wife worship and women equal to men and all that bullshit, all that feminazi bullshit, you'll be fine. But yeah, you don't really have religious freedom in the West. So I wanted my freedom from the West. I wanted my freedom to be the man that God made me to be, and my freedom to believe God's word, like the whole word, not the parts that make people feel good, not the way they manipulated and twisted in America to make the women feel good, to not hurt the women's feelings. So, and the only place you're allowed to do that is here in the Philippines. So, like I said, people may not agree with my beliefs, but they're not going to shun you out of the church here. You know what I mean? Because it's a more patriarchal society, they're more understanding of real patriarchal biblical beliefs. Whether they believe it or not, they're not going to shun you out. In America, there's scriptures you can't even use in America. Like you can't say, wives submit unto your husbands as unto the Lord. You can't say that in America. And that's the Bible. That's actual scriptures in the Bible that you can't even say, because the women will get their feelings hurt. And then the men will say, oh, no. That's not what God meant. You're interpreting it wrong. And I'm like, I don't think that scripture needs any interpretation. Like God isn't talking to us in code. He knows that our brains are tiny peanut human brains. This isn't, So, but they need it to have an interpretation, because they need to interpret it or reinterpret it the way that makes them feel good. The way that doesn't hurt the women's feelings and doesn't make the men feel less of men because they submit to their wives, as opposed to the wives submitting to the husbands. Because the men still need to kind of feel like men. They're not actually men, but they still need to be able to tell themselves, they still got to get up every morning and look themselves in the mirror. I first thought I would move to Japan, but they make it too difficult, and Thailand has too much sex. Yeah, that was exactly the same reasons for me too. Japan is too difficult for the immigration, and Thailand is just for sex tourism. It's not a place where you go to settle down permanently. So yeah, that's why I didn't go to Thailand, because Thailand was probably it was going to be Philippines, Cambodia, or Thailand. So Thailand was like in my top 3. But yeah, it's just too much debauchery over there. So I wasn't comfortable with Thailand because of just the massive sex industry there. Like we have it here in the Philippines, but it's not on that scale. Like they kind of keep it contained, right? Like they have Walking Street over there and it's just contained in that little area. It's not like everywhere. Like Thailand has like the freelancers all over the place. Like over here in Angeles City, there's not freelancers just walking around everywhere. It's contained over there in that little area. I mean, there are freelancers here in the Philippines, but they're not, just all over the place. Like I've seen the videos, the YouTube videos about Thailand, and they're just everywhere. The freelancers are everywhere. I would be embarrassed to go to Bangkok. Yeah. All right, Jesus, I'm sorry. We were going to try to squeeze Bible study in today, but I ran out of time. I got to go to work. Because we're almost done with Numbers. Where were we in our Bible study? I got to get back to the Bible study. And I got to get back to preaching on the polygamy. Because that is coming soon. That's coming quicker than I thought it was. I was not expecting Doge to go after child support. That kind of shocked me a little bit. That kind of surprised me that Doge is going after child support. So with Doge going after child support, we can conclude that we are definitely on track for Isaiah chapter 4, verse 1 prophecy coming true pretty quickly. So we're going to need to get back to the polygamy, Bible studies, and just Bible studies in general. I think we got like 3 more chapters in Numbers to finish, and then we'll be in Deuteronomy. We might have to do some side quest so I can get back to the polygamy. I might just have to do a whole recap on the polygamy Bible study. We'll have to go back to like Jacob and Leah and Rachel, just to bring everybody back up to speed on the polygamy Bible studies, because that is happening, guys. Whether you agree with it or not, and I know the Christians are super they're going to be the most upset about it. It's happened. It's in God's word. It's not like I'm just talking about this stuff just because, you're just a dirty man who wants to have 2 women. It's Isaiah chapter 4, verse 1. It's a prophecy. If you believe the Bible, you have to believe God's prophecies. It's not like some random guy just standing up saying, I'm a prophet and God says, thus says the Lord. I'm actually reading scripture here. I don't understand why people have a problem with God. People have a serious problem with God. You read the Bible and they get mad at you because they know it's true. It's something in their heart that knows it's true and they hate the truth. That's why they get mad at you for reading the Bible, because they're full of the devil. Because if you were a righteous person, you would be like, you know what? I don't agree with that. I don't like that. I don't want to have 2 wives. I don't want to have 3 wives. But if God says it, I have to accept it, right? So yeah, we're definitely got to get back to the polygamy thing, because Doge is going after child support. We still have to see how that's going to unfold. That's going to be epic, guys. I mean, just epic. I'm surprised there hasn't been any more news on that, because all the corruption they found in the regular government, and child support has no accountability to anybody. Can you imagine the corruption they're going to find there? Get ready for your checks. Get ready for your stimulus checks. Get ready for those $10,000 stimulus checks. I'm ready. Going to buy some more furniture for my apartment, for my big ass apartment. All right, guys, I got to go do some work. God is good. I'm super blessed. I got too much work. Praise God. Bless you guys. Bless you, my brothers, my brother Blizzard, my brother Andy. I will see you guys in the next one. MK Mobile Gaming in the Philippines, signing out.